What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
So baby, we are here for Beyond the Gates, episode 33 through 38. So how was this week for you? You know, I got a bunch of notes, Chad. How was this week for you?
This week was a good week, I will say. Minus the exception of Thursday and Friday seeing Derek and Ashley.
Well,
Other than that, it
you
was a good week.
know, we just moved past them, child. We just
Mm,
yeah, I thought it was a really good week. I feel like they're moving some storyline. I think they introduced some new storylines this week, and they're moving some storylines along. So I was. There go your friend in the chat,
I
JB.
see.
There go Cajun.
I see Cajun.
Oh Lord, Cajun is a trip. Anyway, but yeah, so I thought it was a pretty good week. So again,
Mhm.
some storylines I'm ready for them to let's figure it out what we're gonna
Right.
do. But I think they introduced some new storylines, which I think will be pretty good as well.
Mhm.
Um, so let's start with day one, child. We start off on Monday with a good old product placement. Child, they having Kat's birthday party and they got the Febreze out, honey. I put that in my notes too. That they got the Febreze out.
Mhm.
Now
You
I'm being
know,
good today. Cajun
y-
bye.
exactly. I was cool with the product placement, but it's very obvious that it's product placement because how many times we gonna mention the Febreze of it all?
It's so funny to me because I'm definitely here for the product placement because number one, that's a good thing that they have sponsors. Number
Mhm.
two, that's that old fashioned soap opera. Soap operas used
It
to be
is.
straight up commercials in the middle of them. Okay, that's where the soap comes from. The soap opera with the whole,
Mhm.
detergent and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I was definitely here for it. So we have Kat's birthday party situation, and here's where we get a little bit more storyline about Kat being this miracle baby.
Mhm.
Nicole and Ted were in a bad place. Nicole really thought Ted was stepping out on her. She said he was working more, he wasn't coming home. She said she was rejecting him. And so and that's why I said we kind of get a new, we're getting more of this storyline. So it makes more sense. I mean, I'm still not excusing Ted's bad behavior,
Mhm.
but it makes more sense. Um, that Ted stepped out. It sounds like him and Nicole were definitely hitting a rough patch, and
Mhm.
again, not excusing his decision, but it definitely makes more sense, which I can appreciate from the talking storyline of it all, from the writing. Because Ted, they done built Ted up to be this great, you know, um, husband and dad and all of that stuff. So it makes
Right.
sense. I mean, I'm just glad they gave us that. I mean, how did that make you feel as far as that? That put it in perspective for you, or
For me, yeah, it does put it into perspective. The thing is, if you listen to Nicole, she's going through a lot of stuff. So, her body is, she's not able to have more kids. It's a lot of stuff going on with her mentally and probably internally. So, yeah, it does make more sense, shedding a light on it. Like you said, it's not an excuse for what Ted did. And as a doctor, the thing that is kind of blowing me is, as a doctor, you still like you should. What goes on with the woman's body when she's carrying a baby. You know what happens after miscarriage. So it just, again, it's not. I get it. I appreciate it, but it's like you said, it's not an excuse for what Ted did, especially with that cycle over there.
child, right? If you gonna cheat, you need to be a little more discerning in where you cheating. But I agree. But I think that also just proves, like, when it comes to, um, you can know all of the medical in your mind, but at the end of the day, a man is still a man, child. A man is still a man.
Hmm.
Um, but it also sounds like Nicole really suspected that he was cheating on her.
Right.
So I honestly feel like she has given him ample opportunity to come clean. Like, I understand all of the reasons, not you arguing in the chat.
Because I saw that coming from Cajun. I was like, go to hell, Cajun. But
Ooh,
I get your point of view. It's I don't know if it's because with Ted, I just wish he would come clean. But even if he comes clean, do you think that even if he had come clean, if she suspected it, do you think she would have forgiven him?
Yeah.
You
I
do?
think because it sounds like okay, so let me say this. I think she would have forgiven him once she got to this point of understanding that she was pushing him away and where they
Mhm.
were. It sounds like, I mean, just like with anything else, it sounds like it probably took her time to get to that point. But her
Mhm.
being a therapist, I don't know if they went to therapy or she went to therapy, but it definitely sounds like she has an understanding of I I contributed to where we were in our marriage at that time. So I think that was a time. I think there was a window of time where he could have told her. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying it would have been an automatic, oh, you're forgiven, but I think it would
Right.
have
It would
definitely
take
been
time.
some working through. Yeah, but now you're going to compound the fact that you lied. I mean, compound the affair with the fact that you've been lying for the last however many years. And now let's not forget this $50,000 that he done came up with. Somebody's going to find that missing money. I don't know who. I don't know if it's going to be
Cat.
Cat because she handles his affairs. I don't know what, but somebody going to find that missing money. And then he going to have
Mhm.
a whole another thing to have to explain.
True.
So it's like you're compounding the lie. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Anyway, so but we'll keep our eye on it because this is we know where this is headed. Like we know and like you said, we got May sweeps coming up. So I feel so
Mhm.
don't anticipate us getting this anniversary party for another 2 weeks at least. I feel like this is going to be their big crescendo going into May sweeps. I think Anita's storyline with her wanting to go back, I think there's something with that. I think
Mhm.
Tyrell, we'll get to that, but I definitely see what we're building into some storylines that can take us into, May sweeps or whatever.
Right.
Now while this is going on, child, Danny is at her house depressed again about Bill again, and her daddy come over there to give her a pep talk again. I don't know about you, but I'm over the Danny storyline. I'm just over it.
I'm over it because I see the direction that we're going to with Danny and with them making her an alcoholic. It's like, oh my,
Mm-hmm.
because every time we see Danny, Danny is drunk at this point. And how many more times do we have to see Danny be drunk? How many more times do we have to see her crying over Bill? Yes, Bill did Danny wrong, right? By going to get with the harlot Haley, right? But you gotta figure out a way to move on. And I think your sister, Nicole, has tried to help you. Even
Baby
Andre,
Nicole even said you can come and stay here for a little while. We can have some girls' time. Yeah.
but I think she just wants to wallow in that self pity. Like I think that's what Danny is stuck at, is wallowing in her self pity.
And I get it. Listen, I get it. I get it. We have all been there, done that. But at a certain point, girl, like, yes, what Ted did was absolutely disrespectful. I mean, Bill, sorry, not Ted. Well, he was too, but what Bill did was absolutely disrespectful. But at a certain point, girl, like they married, they living their best life. They really not thinking about you. Like they really are not. Hello?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know if I lost you. Go ahead.
I know. Yeah, I mean that's the point exactly. It's like Haley and Bill are married, so you gotta figure and you sleeping with Andre, girl. So you doing something
Right.
like
With his right.
I wouldn't be worried about Bill.
And I don't understand how, and I think too part of it is the kamikaze of it. Cause it's like 1 minute she's getting over it, and then the
Mhm.
next minute she's back here, and then the next minute she's it. I need them to give us a move. And I understand too that that grief is a process and you don't always stay in the same space. Like I get all of that, but I feel like it's just been dragging on for too long at this point. I just been dragging on for me.
Now, what I will say to
Um,
kind of defend her is, yes, it's Bill and Haley, but we also have to. I mean, it's also the stuff with Chelsea too. She is still dealing with, because I think it's just for her. She feels everybody is leaving her, right? Because she lost
yeah.
her, she lost her husband. her daughter, that was her last thing to cling on to was, I'm Chelsea's manager. And now Chelsea says, no, I don't want to be a model anymore. I want to design a handbag. So I think that's
Right.
also contributing to it as well. And it makes the Bill stuff, I think if it kind of makes the Bill stuff worse for her, the stuff with
And
Chelsea.
right.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, and I agree. And then her getting fired from the board didn't help.
Mm.
So I understand it's a lot, but I just feel like for me, it's taking us too long to get what we getting with Danny. Like I get it, they're building up the storyline that she's an
Mhm.
alcoholic. Like I got that, but I feel like it's just taking us too long to get. Let's go. It's taking us too long to get there. Let's go. For me,
Right.
at least for me, I'm just because I want to see Danny get over and get to the other side because I really think
Mhm.
the other side, Danny, and maybe in my mind, I built her up to be like the Erica Kane character, and maybe she's just not meant to be that person. So maybe that's a me thing that I just felt like she's going when she get over it, she's gonna be like, "Rrr."
I
But
do feel
maybe
that. I do feel like she might be, once she get over, she might be that badass that we saw at
think
the
so.
wedding. I think so.
Okay, well, we're gonna see because I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. Bill and Naomi. So here's another blow that going to your point. Here's another blow for Danny is that Naomi throughout this week, I'm just gonna kind of jump ahead a little bit.
Mhm.
She's really grappling with forgiving her father and meeting him in the middle. Like she's not ready for them to get back to where they were, but I think
Mhm.
she's tired of being angry with him. And we
Right.
see her processing through that as the week goes on, with her actually remembering how much she loves her dad and how great of a relationship they had. And, you see her worried about, well, what is my mom going to think if
Mhm.
she sees that I'm forgiving him or I'm allowing him back in my life. So you're right. I think on the outside, Danny's going to say all the right things, but behind the scenes, I think this is going to be just something else that's going to push her to that damn bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So the thing I will say with Naomi, you could see it from the beginning that she was struggling with this case, but I think she refused to admit that the real reason, yes, you want to get justice for those women, but you also want to get back at your daddy for what he did to your
Yeah.
mama. And you can admit that
Agreed.
you can admit that to yourself. And this week, now you can actually admit, yeah, it was a little bit about that, but it was also about the women. And I'm also not doing this because I'm struggling with, you're my dad. I still love you. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting. I hope Danny is not the type of person who will say, "Yeah, your daddy did me wrong," but I don't feel like she will say that there's an issue with Naomi and Chelsea reconnecting with their dad. I think the biggest issue would be what would be a big issue for Danny would be if they connect with Haley as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think and like I said, at least on the outside, I think Danny is going to say all the right things. Like you love your dad, he's a good dad. This is between me and your father. Like I think she's going to say all of the right things on the outside, but I
Hmm.
don't think that's how she really truly is going to feel. And you're right. I think what would make her outwardly angry is if they decided to forgive Haley and connect with Haley. And I don't think either one of them are in that place. I don't think either
Hmm.
one of them are ready for Haley. But I do think that opening up to their father, I feel like both of them are kind of ready, open for that. But I don't think they're definitely not open for Haley, child. They ain't here for Haley at all. Um, I wrote in my notes that Bill was stalling the case. He talked about a doctor's appointment. Do you think there's anything wrong with Bill?
I do. I really do. Because especially when he was talking about there was a tingle in his hand, I think, like most men, we don't want to say when something's wrong with us. And we don't like
Mm-hmm.
don't like going to the doctor. I think there is something wrong with Bill that we haven't gotten yet, but we will eventually. I do believe something, and I think that
Okay.
might bring them closer together.
Hey, everybody coming in. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I just don't think nothing's wrong with him. I think just like I feel like he was manipulating her with the whole doctor's appointment on his schedule when he said, "Oh, we can't do the deposition. Why?" When she was like, "You don't have anything on your calendar," and he was like, "Well, I mean, I'm not allowed to go to the doctor." I don't
Hmm.
know.
So you think he lying?
I just don't trust. Listen, I've come to the conclusion. I feel like I don't trust nobody on this show, but I just don't trust nothing that come out of Bill's mouth. I just don't. So I don't know, but I can see that definitely being a real reality that maybe something is wrong with him, and that's something again that they're going a slow build of. We seeing little things happen, and then maybe finally he'll have like a heart attack or something like that. I don't know. It's too early for him and Haley to be getting ready to break up or anything. So I don't want to say, oh, well, Haley's doing something to him, because I think it's too early. Do I think that Haley and Bill are going to stay together? No. But it's too early for them to break up. Like,
it is.
We still got to ride this wave. I mean, if God, Lord willing, the show gets, a couple of more seasons, that's something down the line. That ain't going to happen no time soon. But I definitely don't think it's going to, we're going to see Haley's true colors. I'm telling y'all, it's something more with her. It's just something more with her. Child, I have Tomas and Kat in the calculator.
When that man gave that girl that fucking calculator for her birthday, I said, a calculator?
Tell my son, for all the money you gonna make. Sir, is it from Tiffany's? Is it in a turquoise box? Because I might have felt a little bit better if it was in a turquoise box. But sir, did you buy that down to the mall from the kiosk?
Like a calculator?
And then she was acting like she was so, oh, thank you. Because at first her face was like, what the fuck? And then it seemed like then she was like, oh, thank you. I was like, sir.
I think she was trying to be nice in that moment. But I would say
she was definitely trying to be nice.
Because I would ask him, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with a calculator?
Right? Like, what does this mean for me? Child, I could even see if this was a graduation gift and I was getting a degree in accounting or something. I could even see that connected. But, and that still would have been a stretch. Let's be clear. That still would have been a stretch. But I could even see if you was connecting those dots. But, child. Anyway. Okay, next I have Eva and Leslie. So Eva is irritated with Miss Leslie.
And I will be too. Sherry, Dana, Leslie, Anna, Lulu. Yep, I will be.
She didn't get a new name this week.
She didn't. I will be irritated about all her personalities. Because I think Eva is starting to see that her mom is lying.
Yeah. She's definitely starting to, because the fact that when she's definitely feels like her mom had something to do with
Laura.
Laura. I knew it was an L child. She definitely feels like her mama got something to do with Laura. Like, she's definitely on top of that. But she really just feels like she can't trust her mother. Her mother's lying to her. And she's really, truly starting to like Ted and Nicole. She really is. So I don't know if she wants to have any parts of what her mama got planned for them at this point either.
I don't think so either.
Right, DB. Where's the DNA results? We've been waiting for them results for
y'all know them DNA results ain't coming.
Right, because she know, and the longer them results don't come, the more I'm starting to think Eva is not that man's child.
It's more to that story that she's not staying.
Oh, absolutely. And we know she crazy she delulu as hell. So
like, it's something she's not telling us, and it's something she ain't telling Eva. I don't know what it is. I know everybody thinks, and I'm starting to come to that conclusion now that maybe Eva ain't Ted's. Like, I'm coming to that conclusion more and more, because it's like she's leaving a whole lot of shit out. You ain't ever told your daughter that, oh, he paid excuse me, that he paid you to have an abortion. So what'd you do with that money? Okay.
And we found out that it wasn't really Ted, it was the attorney who and we said this earlier. I was doing live watch-alongs, and I think you said it in the chat, I'm not sure, but we said this earlier. What if Bill is Ted's attorney that handled it, y'all?
Right.
I don't know. I'm not saying he is, but because again, that takes it back to Bill having all of this ammunition on the Duprees. Like, now she used the money on the wigs. Ooh,
I was about to say the wigs.
That much money. It couldn't have been that much money.
Not with them raggedy ass wigs.
Child, not with them wigs. Now she used them on the wigs, honey.
Kara makes a good point.
I
I
don't even
don't
think
think
she had an abortion. Was she even pregnant? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, was she even pregnant when
like it's a lot with that woman that she's leaving out.
Oh, definitely. You think it was Mike?
Oh,
Oh,
that's an
oh,
interesting point.
now that would be right up Mike's alley, honey.
It would be. Okay.
Oh, we're gonna get to Mike in a minute. We're gonna get to Mr. Mike, honey. We're gonna get to Mr. Mike. Okay. Let me go through my notes. I wrote in here. She's tired of the drama. That's what I said about Eva. Nicole and Ted in the bad place. We already talked about that. Blah 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 blah. Cat miracle baby. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's get into Jacob and Naomi. Naomi is starting to feel guilty about the case, and she wants to withdraw for the case. We kind of already talked about this, but anything you want to add about? I mean, other than their wonderful Tide product placement, once again. Um, anything about Naomi, like Naomi's reasons for withdrawing and all of that stuff?
You know, honestly, I'm okay with Nate, even though I can't stand Bill. I know that's her daddy, so I can't be too mad at her for wanting to, you know, at least she's not ready to just say, hey, let me go. Because I know he was like, so how do you work this out with Haley? She's like, maybe I'll just go over there when, you know, Haley's not there. So I'm not upset that she wants to get back to her relationship with her dad, but I mean, if it were me, my petty ass, I wouldn't be so forgiving. And I know she said that she's not forgiving him yet. It would be a never, because if you didn't, it ain't that you just betrayed my mother. You also betrayed me. Like she
And
said,
that's what she said.
you over there in that bachelor pad with my best friend, and she was asking questions about you. So no, I don't think I would be so forgiving.
Yes. Now that's the other thing that they brought up. She said, you know, now that I think back on it, it almost seems like this situation with Haley was premeditated. That was a
Mm-hmm.
good point too, because she said, it almost makes me feel like, because the way she was asking questions about about um my dad and stuff like that, I almost feel like this was a premeditated thing. Do you think, and again, you know, I ain't trust Haley from the beginning. Do you think that Haley was targeted Bill from the jump, and she was using I do too. And I don't think it was an accident that Naomi is starting to come to that conclusion. I
Because
do
this goes
too. I
back to
feel the exact same way.
this goes back to what you've been saying this whole time, that you think is more with Haley that we don't know, and you know, it's only a matter of time before we see who Haley really is, her true colors. Because for Naomi to say that Haley playing this, and you know, we've all been saying who made the first move. Well, sound like it was Haley. Sound like it was.
Exactly. Yep.
And I wonder
It's
why.
that.
Is this like a revenge plot against not the Hamiltons, but the Duprees? Like, it makes you wonder what was her true motives.
And at this point now, I need to know, how did y'all meet? Like, did you
Mm-hmm.
get a job at the law firm first, and then you and Naomi became friends because she was hanging out at the law firm with her dad and stuff? Or were you friends with Naomi and she got you the job at the law firm? Like, we need some flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Or we need some more conversations. Because you're right. Now I have questions about, how did all this happen? What is the sequence of events here? Right? I do. I definitely have some more questions. I really think Haley is the secret daughter of Anita. That's my conspiracy theory. She don't wait. She don't want all. She wants to be a Dupree. Bill is just the closest proximity. Yeah, she definitely wants to be a Dupree. Like Bill, she's
Absolutely.
definitely not satisfied being Bill's wife because it didn't bring her what she thought it was going to bring her.
Mm-mm. She wanted access, and she's not getting the access.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna get back to. I have a theory on who Haley is too, but we're gonna get back to that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Eva went to that party to pick up a jacket. Eva got on my nerves with this whole situation. Why were you there? And when you got there and you saw what was going on, girl, you should have got your ass out of there. There was no reason. You know how Kat feels about you. There was no reason for her to be at that situation and for her to stay as long as she did. Ma'am, why were you there?
What really blew me with Eva was, okay, yeah, you came in, you realize it's Kat's birthday party. You should have walked your ass out. Oh, I left my coat. Girl, how many coats? Do you have another one at home? Because if you don't,
not only that, but they just got finished saying how Leslie was saying how beautiful of a day it was. That's why they was gonna go have a picnic. Girl, you ain't need that coat.
and then to
You did
sit
not
there and
need
talk,
that coat.
you didn't, and then to sit there and talk shit about not Eva, but Kat to Tomas at her party, and she overheard you. It's like, girl, you
Yeah,
do the
Eva
most.
irritated me.
I'm so
Right.
glad
I
that
wrote that in
Kat
my notes, so I
clocked it too.
stayed.
I'm so glad that Kat
Exactly.
clocked it. Me and Kat been saying the same thing. I've been saying this for weeks. Eva is always there conveniently. Why? Like, ain't nobody gonna sit here and say she's always around.
Why are you here? Why are you here, ma'am? I agree 100%.
It definitely went cold because look at that outfit that she had on with them cutouts. Like, Eva loves a cutout.
Child. They talked about that out. They talked about her outfits, child. Remember, I think that was one of the things that Kat said about her from the beginning was that she dressed unprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
Eva is obsessed. She's just different. She's just different from Sherry. I do think she's obsessed with wanting the story. Yeah, I do think she's obsessed. With one that I'm not story, but one in that life.
I'm about to say, I think she's obsessed with one in that lifestyle.
She definitely wants, and again, I think because she's convinced that Ted is her father, and she sees how much of a good father he is to Kat. I think she's just obsessed with what she thinks she should be getting or could be getting that she didn't get from being in the family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Naomi withdrew from the case. Did we already kind of talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we didn't talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Danny comes to the party, and she's the life of the party, just so she could go home and get drunk, child. Again, this was one of those scenes that irritated me. She was the life of the party, and she was being all extra or whatever, and then she went home and couldn't get drunk fast enough and called Andre.
So, quick question. Do you think she's going through depression, and that's why she's drinking as well?
I do. And I wonder if because the way the whole family babies her and coddles her, it makes me wonder if if she had a breakdown at some point before. Mm-hmm. Because the way they just baby her, I'm like, she got to be in her 40s. I mean, she's got grandkids. I mean, daughter. She old enough to have grandkids at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, both of her kids are old enough to have kids. And I'm like, girl, like, why are they babying her? So it makes me, I do think she's going through a depression, and it makes me wonder if there's something there. Again, we need a flashback or a conversation. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: it ain't but so many times that kind of stuff ain't cute to a man. That pass out drunk, this stuff. It ain't but so many more times that Andre is going to come running when she called, because I'm sure that ain't cute for him.
We saw her towards the middle of the week when the last time she called him.
Yeah, he told her like she need to get it together. But I loved what he said to her. Like I loved how he talked to her. He wasn't too hard, but he was giving her some reality. And he was like, "Girl, you are the prize. Like, stop acting like he was the prize. You're the prize. Like, hello." Danny probably has mental illness. She might. If I was Andre, I would be so turned off by Danny and her antics. Me too. If I were a man, if I went over to a man's house and he was always passed out drunk and I had to take care of him, that ain't cute.
It's not.
That ain't cute.
And you called
right. And I thought that's what he was going over to Nicole's house. When he called Nicole that night and he went over her house, I thought that's why he was going over there. I thought he was going over there to say, look, Danny needs help. He doesn't know how to tell them how much he knows about Danny without telling on himself about how much time he's spending with Danny. You know what I'm saying? Because remember the last time he said something to Nicole, Nicole was like, "How do you know?"
Exactly.
So it's like I don't think he knows how to talk to her without telling on himself.
Yeah, I'm ready when I say I'm ready for a storyline to wrap up. That one is one that they can quickly wrap up. Send her to rehab. Yeah.
So speaking of sweeps, do you think that's a storyline that we're gonna get in May? Is that the fact they're gonna find out about her and Andre sleeping together?
Yeah, it's gonna come out sooner rather than later. Because
Yeah,
it's only
yeah,
some.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, because the interesting thing with these two is it's not even, which we don't know. We don't know the proximity of where the Dupree's and Danny's house is, but I feel like they don't live that far for them just to just pop up to the girl's house. And I feel like this is her back door that they go into. So I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna see it eventually. Like, hey, there go Andre going into
Right,
Danny's
because
house.
it seemed like everybody got a key to her house. People just willy nilly be in her house whenever they feel like it. Cajun, what? Really B won't be able to make it to your home as she is booked. Cajun, I don't even know what he's talking about. But I'm not too booked to go to JB's home. Mind your business. Talking about I'm booked. You don't know what I got to do.
So they go Cajun with
Cajun
that
is
throw.
he's such a troll. No, he ain't coming to Books and Bourbon. So you can get on his nerves if you come. You ain't even coming. Worried about what he doing. What? You know what? I think Cajun got a crush on you, JB. Maybe that's what it is.
Who knows?
I won't be going there because of what I said. What? Because drunks aren't attractive. Is that what you? What are you talking about? I ain't fool.
I think that's what he's
Mind.
talking about, the drunk.
Oh, you call? Oh, now he calling you a drunk, JB. Is that what it is?
I don't drink. So
Does no one notice Andre's car in the morning?
That's what I
Right.
was
Nobody sees the man car. And don't they live behind the gates? So
Mhm.
doesn't he have to like go through to get in? And don't all of them live there? Like, don't all of them live in the same neighborhood? Like,
Yes, they
why
all
do
live
you
in the
think I'm
same.
attracted to everyone? I don't know. Oh, I didn't know you didn't drink, JB. You don't drink it all? You don't drink it all?
I do drink a little bit, but not like that. I'm not like a. When I say I'm not a big drinker,
Oh,
I'm not
got you.
like it's
I
every
got
blue
you.
moon I'll drink something.
I got you. So then we get to Haley.
Oh God.
Haley says she might be pregnant.
Okay,
I feel
girl.
like people's first reaction is their real reaction. Bill is not interested in that woman having no baby.
And dang.
And it sounds like they talked about it and they agreed that they weren't going to have children, or at least not have children right now.
Mm-hmm. That man don't want children, period.
He does not. I mean, he's old enough to be somebody's granddaddy. I mean, Naomi is old enough to have kids. Like, he's old enough to be somebody's granddaddy. Why would you even think that this man wants some children?
Right. Because I feel like Naomi got to be in her 30s and Chelsea is somewhere in her 20s. Who wants to start over?
First of all, can I say I get sick of women doing this? And as a woman, I get sick of women doing the I might be pregnant. I'm a little bit late. Because to me, I feel like that's just a let me see your reaction. Let me gauge how you feel about it. Because as a woman, you can wait a minute. And nowadays they have over-the-counter pregnancy tests that you can check like damn near as soon as you think you might be pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing is 100% accurate, but it would even be different if she was like, I took a test and the test said, but I need to go to the doctor to confirm it. But girl, you was like, well, I'm a little late. To me, that was just a temperature check.
It is.
That was a temperature check.
I think Haley, I think they've had conversations about not wanting kids, but I think she's now thinking, maybe she should have kids with him. So that was her way of seeing, okay, if I say I'm a little bit late, I did take my pills, but after the wedding and the honeymoon, I kind of fell back on it, or missed a dosage or whatever. That was her way of saying, how do you feel seeing how he feels about having a baby? And his first reaction was, huh? No, no.
And he even said, we talked about this. Like
Mm-hmm.
they clearly had a conversation and this wasn't the plan. Like clearly this was not the plan, So child, it made me sick, but I feel like it's some bullshit. I don't know. I don't believe that Haley is pregnant. I believe this was a temperature check. Do I think that Haley is trying to get pregnant? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. I believe Haley is trying to get pregnant.
I
Bill is
think
too old to see the play. Young women marry old men and have their babies for security. That's the game.
that's what I was just about to say. I think if she's not pregnant after that conversation she had with Danny later in the week, she's gonna definitely try to get pregnant.
Oh yeah, Danny. We gonna get to that Operation Gemstone, child. Anyway, all right. Child, let's get over here to your friend Martin.
Oh, Martin.
So Martin says that a reporter approached him about the picture of Tyrell that's floating around the school. He
Mhm.
confronts Tyrell. Tyrell tells him about it, but tells him basically to mind his business. I can handle it. And then Tyrell says something that I think is important because Tyrell and his sister both said the same thing in different conversations. He alluded to his life before they adopted him. And he said, some of the kids remember me from before, and they know my situation, like whatever situation they were in, if it was a rough situation or whatever. And later on not later on in the week, I think it was that same episode, um Samantha had that same conversation when she was talking to Kat and Chelsea.
Mhm.
Basically, like, I'm a tough girl. Y'all don't know, y'all don't we had a tough, before we got adopted, we had it rough, and I always looked out for Tyrell and this and this and this and that. So I feel like they're alluding to whatever their life was prior to when they got adopted.
Mhm.
And this is my theory. What if Haley is their mama?
Hmm. Okay.
I
That-
don't know, y'all. I mean, if Danny and Bill are old enough to have kids, if Nicole and Ted is old enough to have grandkids, then I just feel like Haley could be old enough to have them two kids. How old when they got adopted? Well, clearly old enough to remember something and be in school and have memories of it. So they must have been older. Like I would say maybe 8, 9, 10, 11-ish around that time. Why Samantha and that little girl from school look alike? They do look
They do
alike.
look like.
They do. We're gonna get to that little girl. We're gonna get to her in a minute. Um,
For me with Martin, I think Martin should have listened to what Tyrell was saying to him because this is a teenager.
mhm.
We know we were all teenagers at one point in life. Either you were a teenager who did the bullying or you got bullied. And if you got bullied, you didn't want your parents to step in and be like, go to the school and talk to the principal and the teachers on your behalf because that makes you look it makes you look weak, so to speak, right? And then if kids say, "Oh, you went to your mom and your daddy to talk," or in Tyrell's case, your dad's, you went to your dad's and complained to your dad's, we finna make it worse. And then in this day and age with social media, that makes it 10 times worse. Which I get Martin's frustration, but Tyrell said, "Let me handle it," because he didn't want people
So
like he didn't want people to be like
I
his
agree
his
with everything you said.
yeah, like I just Martin should have minded his business. And Smitty told, and that's the thing. That's the other thing I have an issue with Martin. Martin doesn't listen to nobody but himself. He don't listen to his husband. And you don't listen to your fucking
Mm-mm.
kids.
So here's what I'm gonna say, and this is coming from what I deal with in my life every day. The way Martin handled this situation on the front end, I understood. On the
Hmm.
back end, I feel like it's part of the problem with what's going on with our kids today. On the front end, absolutely. As a parent, you do not want to see your children get bullied. I understand him going to the school. I'm not even going to front. I understand both parts of this. I understand him
Hmm.
going to the school, and I certainly understand Tyrell being frustrated, saying, "Let me handle it," because you're right. The minute you involve a parent, then it makes you look weak, and then whatever respect you was trying to get is gone. Also, though, in this world we live in today where we're in a 24-hour, things just don't end once it's on social media and it keeps getting reposted and reposted and reposted. um I get it, right? But on the flip side,
Hmm.
he's saying let him handle it, which says to me that it's not so like you know what it is now. You've talked, you can monitor it, right?
Mhm.
I think part of the problem is that we do not this we've created a society where we don't allow our kids to handle issues.
Mhm.
And yes, he got into a situation with the boy at school. Yes, they're reposting it. Yes, they've made memes. They've done all of these things. But if he's saying let me handle it, let him handle it.
Right.
And even at the end when they were like, "Well, we're gonna let him change schools," I see. To me, that's part of the problem because what? How does he deal with conflict moving on in his life if he gets to be able to just remove himself from the conflict and not deal with the issue?
Absolutely. And
Again, as a parent, I understand where parents are coming
s-
from, but sometimes we got to understand, like, I think Smitty said that. How do you learn how to get up if you never fall?
exactly. Exactly. And I get so Xavier, I get what you're saying in the chat. I definitely get what you're saying. No parent wants to see their kids bullied, right? Because I'm a my
Mm-hmm.
mama. My mama was somebody. If I told her somebody was doing something to me at school, she would be ready to come up there to the school and say something to either the teachers or the principal. And there were a few times where I would say, such and such is happening at school, and she would be ready to come up there, and I'd be like, I don't need you to come up there, let me take care of it. Like I can handle it because I don't want to. Like I'm the one that has to go to school every day and deal with these people. You don't. You're at home. You're at work. But I'm the one that's at school dealing with these people, either bullying me, teasing me, doing whatever. Right. So I definitely get the point of view that no parent wants to see their kids being bullied and stuff like that. But you also have to let your kids, handle it, right? Because when they get older and become an adult, if they don't know how to deal with conflict resolution, then you will have people out here who do. I mean, look at what we deal with in this world now. People go to um, churches, grocery stores, and take out weapons and use them on people because they have no conflict resolution when it comes to certain things.
Right. And Xavier, I get what you're saying as well, but you said well then he needs to stop coming home with black eyes. You act like he's coming home every day beat up. He came home one day. Like it happened, you know what I mean? Like it's not like he's getting beat up every single day. For it was that one day. So I don't again, I get where I understand from that perspective, but I also, like I said, as somebody who's in the schools, we've got to allow our kids to learn how to, because the problem is when we don't give them an opportunity to deal with conflict and resolve conflict, they don't know how to do it. So then they become adults who don't know how to resolve conflict. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So I hear what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from, but we've got to allow. And I'm not saying now if he was coming home every day beat up, yes, that's a different conversation.
right.
But at this point, like Samantha said, child, something else is going to happen and it's going to blow over. And at this point, what can they do? They can't stop what's already out there.
Exactly.
So, Cajun, shut up. They ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. Anyway, all right. Okay, so let's get into the storyline we don't care nothing about. Vanessa. But it looks like Vanessa is blowing off her trainer. I think that's gonna come back and bite her in the butt. I'm not sure
Mhm.
what's going on with her and this trainer, but what do you think is going on with the trainer?
The trainer's getting jealous. Number one, that's the
Mm,
biggest thing. He getting jealous, which is interesting. How you getting jealous when you sleeping with a married woman?
okay.
Like I don't get that. But I'm with Vanessa. I don't. I can't make sense of Vanessa. It's weird because she's moving on from Diego, but now she's moving towards Joey. And I think Nicole hit the nail on the head. It's the bad boy thing, and she wants to feel like she can change him,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't.
Mm-mm.
But I also think she's
Mm-mm.
bored.
She's definitely bored. She's definitely bored. And I think a lot of what we see her doing is coming from her being bored. Um, Yeah, I agree with you on that. She's definitely bored. And it sounds like everybody knows she's a hoe. Because, I mean, even her husband alluded to it later on in the episode. I mean, later on in the week, he even alluded to it. So it sounds like everybody know that she in them streets. Like, Vanessa, get it together, girl.
I want to know more about her upbringing and her parents and why
Yeah, because
she's
she's
like.
the one with the money, right?
Mm-hmm. Not
I
just
want to
her.
know more about her upbringing. I also am interested in when we gonna meet the twins.
That's what I'm wondering too. When are we gonna meet the twins?
Because they talk about them, so you know, it's a soap opera. At some point, we gonna meet them. But
Yeah,
I'm
we
wondering
gonna.
when we gonna meet them twins, honey. When we gonna meet the twins? Anyway, so Joey ain't even all that. Dougie boy looks better than Joey. Well, speaking of Dougie, Dougie is down at the hospital working 24/7. He says so that he can, stay focused and stay busy so he won't go gamble. I think he trying to make that money to pay Joey back and get Joey off his back. What you think?
That's exactly what it is. And you notice he was betting with people. He bet with Ashley. How much you want to bet that I can make this throw this paper and make it to the trash can? I was like, what? I was like, you
He's
really
trying
got
to
a
go
problem?
cold turkey, but it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, because his hands started shaking. I'm like, sir, this is an addiction. Like you got a problem. You trying to throw yourself into your work. I think it's two reasons with him taking on these extra shifts. One, keep him distracted from trying to go gamble, and then also to pay Joey back. I think that's
Yeah.
both what it is, but it ain't working.
It's definitely not working. I agree with you 100%. I think that he's trying to distract himself from that, but he's definitely trying to pay, or he need to be worried about paying Joey ass back. How about that? Now, I hate to get technical, but a hospital ain't even gonna let him work like that.
Mm-mm. That's
A
a
hospital is
liability.
not gonna let him perform that many surgeries in that amount of time. Like, that's not even how that works, child.
That is a liability risk towards that hospital.
And I understand what you're saying, Corey, that Shanice was doing too much. She definitely was overstepping. However, I think that they are expanding her role. It seems like they're giving Shanice more lines, and it seems like they're expanding her role on the show. Because, child, it seems like everybody know her. Like, everybody knows Shanice. You know what I'm saying?
They can push
But I
Shanice to
agree.
the
Shanice was
forefront and push.
definitely inserting herself.
Yep. They can push Shanice to the forefront and push Ashley all the way back.
All the way back, child. All the way in the back is where they need to put her. Because I'm sick of her. I'm just sick of her.
Right.
Shanice is nosy, but I do really think she was coming from a good. Oh, she definitely was coming from a good place.
Absolutely.
Powerful. We're gonna get there, honey. But I agree with you, child. We're gonna get there. Cause I told JB, I can't wait to hear his response. Cause I said we finally found out what Joey wants, but it was stupid. So I'm gonna wait. We'll wait till we get to that part, child. Cause I definitely want to hear what he has to say. Let's see here. Randy and Joey. Okay, we don't care. Randy is trying to get Joey want Randy to get him back, and baby, Randy is in trouble. I don't think Randy gonna be with us much longer because Joey is over him.
And I'm over him too. I'm right there with Joey.
And my thing is how obvious, like, why are you being so obvious, sir? Like, it's obvious you're trying to save that man. And your boss has told you that he don't want you doing that.
I know Scotty
to stay out of that.
I know Scotty like him some Randy, but I don't, and Randy can go.
I think Randy's cute, but I think for the show, he's stupid on the show. Like,
and very
stupid.
Obvious.
Just stupid. That's right. Captain Obvious, because sir, that man was very clear. That man was very clear that he wanted Doug and Dad, and he didn't care how you felt about it. Like, if he was going to try to help Doug, there was so many less obvious ways of doing it. Like, less obvious ways of doing that. But anyway, all right. Next on my notes, I have Naomi and Bill, they meet, and I said Bill is wearing Naomi down, but I think we already sort of talked about Naomi wanting to reconcile with her dad. But he wore her down, child. You could see he was wearing her down. Um, we already talked about that. Tyrell Martin and the history. Martin goes to the school. Jacob knows. Oh, Jacob peeped that Andre is seeing somebody. So that's another reason why I think the story is about to come out. Because remember when Jacob was trying to set Andre up, and Andre was like, "Nah, man, I got something to do." He was like, "Wait a minute." He was like, He was like, "Whoop, you turn it down. I'm trying to hook you up with a hottie, and you turning it down." And he definitely, so Jacob know, and y'all know Jacob is big detective child. He gonna put two and two together in a minute.
You're gonna be on this Inspector Gadget stuff pretty soon, trying to figure out who he's sleeping with.
Harold said they need to come up with a serial unalive to clear Doug, Joey, and Randy. Baby, a soap opera is good for a serial killer child. We'll see. We will see. Okay, let's get to this. That is a good one. Bill fires Mike. Now, how did you feel about that situation?
Oh, so I was happy to see it, right? But I honestly think Bill was gonna regret firing Mike, because Mike did mention something that we've all been saying about his little wife. Her wife has been sleeping with the boss, and now she has his position. So yeah, you pay Mike to go away, but baby, Mike might go away, but Mike gonna come back swinging, and I think it's gonna be at Bill's detriment. Am I happy that Bill got rid of Mike? Absolutely, because Mike is a creep. But Bill, that might hurt you in the long run, because one, you knew about this stuff. You paid these. You tried, like, you've done all this stuff. It's not gonna work in your favor.
I definitely think Mike is going to. I think Mike is going to sue them. And I do think that Mike, because he brought up two very good points. The first one is what you said, that if anybody in here is guilty of sexual harassment, it is you, sir. It is you, Bill. And number two, he brought up, he said, and I wouldn't even be in this if it wasn't for your family drama. So I think to show that this was a vendetta kind of thing. And number three, the third thing I think he has a valid point on is Bill, you clearly knew this man was nasty. You clearly knew he was guilty, and you kept him on payroll as long as he was making money. Like, Mike is no dummy, and I definitely think that he's gonna get sued. And maybe listen, and then this may bring them further together, because maybe Naomi is gonna help with the lawsuit. But I definitely feel like Mike is gonna sue, and and I feel like he's got a good case,
right?
Wrongful termination. I mean,
because you knew about it, and you let it slide as long as it benefited you.
As long as it benefited you, you let it go. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I shall a mess. I just
But I will say, did you catch when Bill was about to call, not Bill, but Mike was about to call Naomi out of her name, and
sure
Bill
did
his ass up?
Baby, Bill yanked him up real quick and was like, let me tell you what you better not do. Let me tell you what you better not do, sir. You better keep my daughter's name all the way out your mouth. All the way out your mouth. Yeah, I definitely picked up on that. But I think that's gonna come back to bite. I definitely think that's gonna come back and bite Bill in the mouth. We talked about this already. Naomi's worried about how Danny's gonna take it if she makes up with her dad. Andre talked to Nicole. Again, I feel like we just got more on the story of Nicole and this miracle baby and her and Ted, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't feel like it was anything more than that. I wrote that in my notes. Mike makes some good points. I wrote that in my notes, child. Ted was worried about what Andre was going to say, baby. Ted thought Andre was getting ready to rat him out, honey. But that wasn't even the whole point of the conversation. Martin talked to the principal. We already talked about that. Okay, Danny and Pamela in Operation Gemstone.
If it gets Danny's mind off of all the shit that she's going through, I'm okay with it.
It's interesting because it looks like Danny is going to be torn because it looks like, and this is later on, we're going to get to that in a few minutes, but it looks like Kat and Chelsea want to bring her on. Well, Kat wants to bring her on as the CFO, and
Mhm.
Pamela wants them to start their own modeling agency. So actually, it looks like it's going to be interesting to see which way Danny goes with that. You know
It
what I'm
will.
saying? I agree. Ted just needs to tell Nicole at this point. I agree 100%. Um, But I do like that Pamela was there again to give Danny the pep talk and tell her we need to get you back to the person you were before, Bill, and what is that going to take? And then of course they go down to the country club, and you know who they run into, child. You know who they run into.
Can I say she's just like I've been saying this for weeks, but she is so damn delusional. I don't know why that girl
I
keep
just
going
hate
to
the
the
fact that they
country
act
club.
like it's only 2 restaurants in DC. Like, ma'am, go somewhere else.
Like I just want her to stop acting so delusional because you, like we've said before, go to Orphe Jeans, bitch. Go to the bar. Those people
It's a
serve
million,
you,
right? Right.
but
It's a
you keep
million
going to
other
the
places you
country
could
club.
go.
Like you keep going to the country club. Like that's the definition of insanity. You keep going there, you're expecting a different result, but you keep getting the same fucking result. Like Haley is, when I tell you that girl is irritating me with that fucking country club, she's irritating me. She's getting on my damn nerves. It's like, girl, stop going here. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Girl, they're gonna keep walking by you like you are invisible.
Girl, you know they are not gonna exactly. You know they're paying you no attention. That you are invisible to them. And the fact that Danny had to give them permission to take your order, I wish I would. I
Exactly. I
wish I
would
would
have
put
that
myself in a position for you to have to give them permission to take my money, bitch. Please. Well, maybe not
time.
my money because they, but yeah, I pay a membership. It was crazy. Danny was like,
You can take
you
me.
can take her order. Like what?
Exactly, bitch. No, you cannot take my order. I'm finna go. Like I'm not finna sit here like that's. But that goes to more Haley. I think Haley wants. Well, it ain't no. I think she wants the acceptance. Is not that she wanted to be Bill's wife. She wanted access to, in the words of Latifah, a good little access to the money. She wanted a little access to this lifestyle.
Yeah,
She
she wanted
wants
the lifestyle. Mm-hmm.
because the minute that another person has to say to somebody, you can take the Mrs. Hamilton is ready to eat. Wait a minute. So it took for her to say, "I'm ready to eat," for y'all to take my order. Oh, guess what? Y'all have a good night. And that membership that
That's
I
what
gave
I'm
you,
saying. Baby, it would only been one time for them to act like they wasn't gonna take my order. That's all it would have taken was that one time. Oh, you're not taking my order? Okay, cool. No problem.
mhm,
Ooh, hold on a second. JB, keep talking. I'll be right back.
okay. Uh, let's see what y'all saying. So Harold, you say I keep saying, "Girl, just go home and make a ham sandwich." Nah, I ain't with you on that one because I don't like ham sandwiches, but yeah, I do want her to go home. Xavier, you say that convo with Danny showed me that in her heart of hearts, she still views Haley as a prodigal daughter who's being led astray. Maybe Cajun, go straight to hell. Just go to hell. For some reason, I think Haley. For some reason, I think Haley is going to take Bill. Oh yeah, Haley's going to take Bill for everything. I wouldn't be shocked if that does happen. Haley needs to visit Nicole for a diagnosis. She needs the diagnosis is get a reality check because why is she so insistent on going to this country club? And Cajun, also, you say you mind my business. My TV is on in front of me. That is what you see me looking at. Cajun said, so you want me to come to your house? Got it. Did I say that, Cajun? Did I tell you to come to my house?
I leave y'all alone, and that's what's happening. Y'all in here fussing. You and Cajun in here
No, I wasn't
fussing.
even going back and forth with Cajun. I was reading some of the comments. She ain't got. So Harold says she ain't gonna get any food at that country club. And no, Harold, I get that you saying she might be tired of Orphe jeans, But that is exactly where she needs to go is Orphy Jeans and the damn club. Those people serve her. If I would feel away,
Right. She
it
could get food from RPGs.
now the first time she went to the country club, I'll be like, okay, you know what? Maybe it was a busy night and everybody was there and they just forgot about me. I'll give you that little small window. But the second time I go, when me and my husband are together, and you take his order and walk away, I would have tapped Bill on his. I would tap Bill on the shoulder and said, "Hell no, you don't order no food for me."
I
That's
don't even
pure.
understand why Bill allowed. Why did Bill even allow that to happen? Like, I would think that Bill would have been like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
We gonna get up and leave that minutes. The fuck?
Right. I wish I would be out with my husband and people take his order and then walk off like I'm not sitting there, bitch.
I'm gonna flip,
Woo!
I'm gonna flip every table in that damn restaurant.
Yeah, we're gonna be fighting. It's gonna be a whole situation. Like, I don't know who you thought this was. I don't know what you thought it was, but I don't
Mhm.
know who you think you're walking away from.
But
Okay.
the thing that I have an issue with in this week was with this scene was with Haley when Danny was talking to her about Bill. I'm like, Haley, you should see this. Like, the thing is, she's giving you free advice that
Mm-hmm.
she's telling you what her life was with Bill. You should look at that and be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, put it in your mental Rolodex, and then if you start seeing signs of it, then be like, you know what, that's what Danny was talking about. But Haley doesn't want to hear that. I think Haley, the thing with Bill and Haley, I think for right now, she's okay with being a little quote unquote trophy wife. But if that's what Haley likes, then let her have it. But it ain't gonna last that long.
And everybody keeps telling her that. But that's why I'm saying I don't think she cares because I don't think that's her goal. Like, I don't think her goal is to live happily ever after. I think like I said, I think she got some shit going on.
She
Helly
could.
thinks her snatch is going to control Bill. Ooh, ooh, not her snatch is going to control Bill. My goodness. My. Um, oh, let me go back to my notes. Hold on. Oh, here they go. I'm about to say. We almost done, Cajun. Let me do this with me. Okay. All right. So, okay, let's get to the Samantha and the modeling situation. So
Mhm,
she pretended like she was going to quit school, but she did blow off going to this assembly. That's how we knew about this assembly at school, but we'll get. But she did blow off the assembly and she let them know, listen, I want to get into modeling. I know what I want to do. I understand it's hard. Y'all think y'all don't understand how tough I am. Been there and done that. My life wasn't always no crystal staircase. I mean, that was basically the speech she gave them. And
mhm,
I feel like Kat came up with a really good idea to bring
mhm.
her on as like to make her just like the face of their company so that she doesn't have to do like the full-fledged modeling, and then she'll be with family so she'll be protected, which might bring Martin on. Don't know. We know Martin's an asshole, so maybe it'll give Martin open up to it a little bit more. And that was pretty much all we got out of that. I just think the whole speech from Samantha about how her life wasn't always easy. Again, I feel like that's on purpose. I don't feel like I feel like that's purposeful that they keep telling us that. Again, I don't know why. I don't know what it's going to be connected to, but I think something in their past is definitely about to come up out the
Right.
shadows.
So I wonder if with Samantha and Tyrell, if they had an abusive parent that they were in they were placed in the system.
I could see that.
That's what I wonder with them. Because for them to both talk about what their lives were, I'm wondering if it was that. Because I like the idea that Kat came up with. Let her be, work with us in our company. I'm like, okay, that's a good idea. Maybe
Hmm.
maybe Martin will get that stick out his ass and allow this girl to do it. Because I mean, you're working with her. It's gonna be well, we from how it looks, it might be Aunt Danny, Aunt Kat, and cousin Chelsea. You know them; they're family. She's safe. And then maybe as time goes on, then she can get into like runway modeling, other editorial things and that nature. But it's kind of like what Kat was talking about. Her brother is such which we see it. Martin is such a stickler for stuff, and honestly, it's been starting to get on my nerves when it comes to Martin. I'm like, dude, you are in politics. You're in politics. That stuff is
Mark is
grimy
just
and
an
dirty.
ass.
He is.
He doesn't
Like,
respect, like you said, he doesn't listen and respect anybody. He doesn't listen to his husband. He doesn't respect his husband's opinion. He doesn't listen to, I mean, we still he'll listen to his parents' opinion. Like, he is just an ass. Oh, he's such an ass.
it's his way or the highway, and it's getting on my nerves. But I'm glad that we're getting a little bit deeper into Samantha and Tyrell. And when that girl said she skipped school, I said, "Say what now? You heard
Right.
what
I
your
said the
daddy
same thing.
said
I
to you."
said, oh, Lord, here we go.
I was like, "You heard what your daddy said to you." I was like, "Fuck," and I'm like, "If she really skipped school, we're gonna have to listen to Martin fuss at her. It's already enough that he's doing it to Tyrell. I don't want to hear him do it to both of them. What scratch that? He's doing it to Tyrell and Smitty. And then it's gonna be. I'm like, it's gonna be all three of y'all at this point. No,
Yeah. And we know, again, it's one thing that he don't respect the kids, but he don't even respect Smitty. He
and
talked to Smitty crazy.
I don't know how Smitty put up with it. That's why I keep telling Smitty to cheat.
Oh,
Just
Smitty
go ahead.
might, but I know whatever. When Smitty, we I think that definitely whatever this secret is that they're hiding, Smitty gonna uncover it with this job he got.
Yeah, I'm ready to find that out too. Whatever this secret is.
I like the fact that they're, so this is a good example for me of how they're dragging out a storyline, but they're not beating us over the head with it. Like, it's not like every day they're talking about his dreams and his past. It's like we're getting a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's like they
Hmm.
slow walking it, which I can appreciate, because what I don't want is them beating us upside the head every single episode with it. And I
Hmm.
like the fact that they're sort of, they sort of slow walking it with us,
Right.
like, you know, this is what he got going on, kind of thing. So I like the fact that we're just getting it a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we'll see. Let me see. What do I have next in my notes? I already said that Samantha and Tyrell talk about their hard life. Naomi and clients, okay, they're going to take the settlement offer.
Hmm.
Shanice and Vanessa. Oh, I wrote this in my notes that Shanice is getting a bigger role, because we see her talking to Vanessa and basically telling Vanessa, "You need to come get your husband. He working too hard. He doing too much." And we kind of already talked about Shanice, but she wasn't wrong in what she was saying. But it's kind of like, girl,
It was the way
you
she
are,
did.
yeah, you are the nurse talking to the doctor. I need you to bring it back a little bit. I need you to bring it back a little bit, okay? Tyrell and the girl from school. How you feel about that? What made you? What was your feelings about the girl from school?
Like somebody said in the comments earlier, when I first saw that girl, I was like, "Wait a minute, ain't that Samantha?" But then
She
I had to
does
look.
look like Samantha.
I'm like, "Oh no, that's not Samantha." I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute for Tyrell for her to come. She'd be like, the boyfriend that punched him in the face. She broke up with him because it was toxic, and she was like, she told her friends to stop posting, and I was like, that's very nice, and that she obviously watched, she saw Tyrell, know that he plays chess. I was like, oh, this is cute. This is cute. I'm kind of here for it. We'll see where it goes. But I
Right.
really thought the girl was Samantha
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I don't be trusting people, so I'm side on it a little bit, like, what you really want from him. But I do think that she kind of really wanted to apologize and let him know, look, I'm not messing with that dude no more. I wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? You think she's lying to make amends on a boyfriend she broke up with? That's a cute exchange. Tyrell clearly likes her. Yeah, he likes her, and I just don't know if I think she's sincere. I'm gonna have to wait and see a few more, because, like you said, with the principal doing the assembly and all of that, I'm almost wondering if the boyfriend sent her to make sure it wasn't going to go any further. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he going to try to is he going to snitch on me to the principal? You need to go talk to him. I wonder. I don't know. I don't trust her yet. I just don't trust her yet. I don't know, but we'll see.
So I want to bring
Because
up
if you thought your boyfriend was wrong, why did it take all this time for you to go and say something to him?
Elma Shell just said something that I forgot about with Shanice. So remember when Shanice was talking to Ashley? Shanice is working extra hours too because of Doug.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. But I wonder why though.
Because she's the head nurse.
But I don't know. I guess I wonder why does she? I mean, why does it matter? Like, there's other nurses that can work. Just because you're the head nurse don't mean you got to be the only nurse working.
True. I guess you don't want to
But I
overwork
mean,
the other nurses.
I guess, I
So
guess,
taking it
I
for the
guess
team.
we'll see. I guess. Um, Doug is funny. So we did see where. Hold on, let me go. We almost done, y'all. Um, Vanessa and Nicole worried about Doug and Joey. So we see Vanessa and Nicole having this conversation about Doug and Joey. Um, while this is going on, we see Joey and Randy talking. Joey don't understand why Randy can't get Doug to come back there and gamble. And my thing is, he can't make that man want to come in there and gamble. Like,
Exactly.
I think you overestimate how close of friends they are. Like, what did you think that man was going to be able to do? Like, what power do you think that man has over another grown ass man? Like, I get it, he has an addiction, but you got to kind of be patient. He wants to. It's kind of like when a drug addict decides I'm gonna stop doing drugs and they go cold turkey. They might be clean for a couple of weeks, but unless they really, everybody has their rock bottom too, so you never know.
Mhm.
But if he's ready to quit, he's ready to quit. Like, what Randy gonna do? Pick him up and carry him? So that's when Joey finally gives us his story and tells us what it is that he wants from Vanessa. And basically, he wants to infiltrate Vanessa's business so he can launder his money.
Oh my God! When I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck? We don't went this long trying to figure out what Joey wanted, and this man just wants to launder his money.
I'm
His
like,
money.
that's the best thing we got. That's all we came up with is for him to launder his money. That's all we got.
Wow! So you put this man in debt to you, so the way you can. Where's the logic in that?
There's no logic as far as I'm concerned.
Because I was like, because when we talked about it this morning, you were like, "You gonna let me watch it for myself and see it?" And when I watched that shit, I was like, "What the fuck?" I said, "This is it. This."
Exactly.
I thought it was something more nefarious of dealing with his mama. I would have preferred that.
Exactly. I feel like our storyline was better, that his mama was
It
the one,
was,
like he was the doctor for the mom, was somehow connected to his mom's surgery. I think that would have been, I think that would have been a better story. Cause I'm with you. I was like, that's it. That's for real though. Like, that's what we came up with. We've been waiting all this time, and that's the best they got. Because first of all, go buy a nail salon, a hair salon. Like,
right.
you
A
you could have went
laundromat.
right. You could have went to Vanessa yourself. Like, you had to put her husband in debt to get, like, would you thought that's gonna make her agree? If she decides she don't want to do it, you can hold that over her head. Like, it just seemed like a very complicated scheme for something that stupid.
But how do you launder money through real estate?
I mean, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but aren't there easier ways of doing it?
Do what Sonny
You know what
Corinthos
I'm saying?
do.
Aren't there easier ways of laundering stuff? Like, that just seemed like a real complicated way of doing that.
It does. Do what Sonny does on General Hospital. Sonny launders his money through his coffee business. He got a restaurant. Like,
Right. And before that, he had a strip club
like
back in the day.
Sonny puts his money into things that makes money, which real estate, yes, it makes money every day, but the way people houses sell for, I mean, even in my area, you can get. I mean, some houses start at 300,000 up to 500. Like, how are you laundering? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably. I'm pretty sure it's a way to do it, but real estate, sir.
It was, yeah, that to me, that's a stretch. I mean, that was a stretch. I could even see if he wanted her business for something dealing with real estate that, like, I don't know. It just seems to me like, I don't know. I just feel like, right, they didn't even need to bring the husband into that.
Mm-mm.
They didn't even need to bring the husband into that. Like, it's weird to me. Like, I don't understand it. I feel like this was a whole lot of nothing, honestly. Right, Xavier. This was a way too complicated of a scheme. Like, I don't get this. I don't understand it. But I guess we're gonna see how this plays out, child. We're going, whoo, child.
But
Um,
it was interesting. I
then
was
we
just
have
like,
Anita and Naomi. So they've been
mhm.
building up this Anita thing for a while. That Anita misses singing, Anita misses, being on stage and stuff. They've been sort of building this up for a while. So it looks like Naomi is trying to cook up a scheme to get Anita to Uptown. I said maybe they're having an open mic night or something like that. So we see that whole thing going down. And then we already sort of talked about this too. Kat wants to make Danny the CFO, and so she had to convince Chelsea. Her and Chelsea kind of went back and forth, back and forth. Doug breaks his hand. First of all, he didn't even hit his hand on that table hard enough to break nothing. And then he's talking to Shanice, talking about something. She said, with no surgeries. No surgeries? Sir, you know you can't do no surgery with one hand. Like, come on.
It was the fact that he's talking about he lost a patient. Well, sir, you're sleep deprived, number one.
Oh, well, yeah, I forgot about that part. He lost the patient. Yeah, my bad. I don't went all the way to the other side.
You're sleep deprived. And like you said earlier, no hospital is going to let that man be on back-to-back surgeries like that without taking a break. That what happened to that patient, even though Nurse Ashley, it wasn't your fault. Ashley, shut up.
Child, shut up, Ashley. Just shut up.
I want Ashley to go away. So on that list of people that we can add to the serial killer, let's add Ashley to that list. Let's have Ashley be the first person that the one they take out. I want Ashley to be the first person.
Ashley could definitely go somewhere, and I would not miss her at all.
But yeah,
I would not miss her at all.
I'm ready with the Doug stuff. It's just I don't mind Doug so much. It's just the stuff with him. It's like, oh my God. The gambling, the adding, doing all these surgeries and stuff. Like, sir, can we figure out something to do with Doug?
And I think it adds to it that now we done got to the reason behind it, and we're unimpressed. Like, we're just like, really? That's it? That was all you wanted? Like, I feel like we got to the end, and it's like, womp, womp, womp. So that doesn't help either, that we are like, that's it? So that doesn't help. I don't know. I hope they come up with something better, because that is not the answer. That storyline they gave us is not the answer. Oh, I wrote it here. Randy might come up missing. And why do they baby Danny? We kind of already talked about that too. So that's pretty much all my notes. I thought this was a really good week. I feel like we got introduced to, like I said at the beginning, some new storylines. I feel like some other storylines got pushed along. I may not like the storyline that they came up with Joey, but at least we do now know what it is that he wants.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like it, but at least we know now. We ain't got to keep speculating.
Right.
Our storyline was better than what they came up with.
I know. We came up. They need to call us, because we definitely came up with a better storyline than what they came up with, Chad. Because I was unimpressed with that storyline. Unimpressed. You hear me? Unimpressed.
Because I was expecting something major to come out of that, and he said launder his money. I said, what?
Yeah, when he said that, like I said, all I heard was womp, womp, womp. I was like, really? That's it? Laundering his money? What? So, yeah. So that was pretty much it, you guys. Scotty is taking a little bit of a sabbatical, so he may or may not be joining us over the next couple of weeks. So if he's here, enjoy him. If he's not, don't ask. So next week I'm gonna be in Atlanta. So I mean, if you don't want to do it next week, we can, but I probably won't be able to do it until I get back, because I'm gonna be at the Boss Babes next week. So
yeah. I had told Scotty that I might come out there. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Oh, that's right, because you said you might be coming to Atlanta. Okay, that'd be cool. I know if you can, if you can't, you can't. But that'd be cool.
So yeah, we can definitely talk about it. Depending on what next week is.
But we'll be here one way or another. We might be a little late, but we'll be here, y'all. Because next week, did you look at any of the previews for next week?
I saw the preview for next week. Nutcase
looks pretty good.
I saw Nutcase. She talking to Nicole again. It's like, lady.
I don't think she's ready to. I don't think she's gonna say anything to Nicole. But I did see where Eva confronted her though.
Now, what I will say with that, because you know how soap operas are. Soap operas are good for giving us somebody going off on somebody, but it only be a dream or them fantasizing about that. So I'm not gonna read too much into
Right.
the evil stuff just yet until we get to it next week. Now,
True,
if she is
true,
off on her
true,
mama,
true, true.
if she is going off on her mama, I'm gonna be right here saying, "Hell yes, read that bitch, read that crazy
I'll be
hoe,
right here, like, yes,
or
girl, yes.
read our Bible Chris calls her."
Lord, look at Cajun. Don't make me show up and hang out with all of y'all. Listen, I've hung out with you before, Cajun. You can flirt with JB in real life. Ah. Anyway, you guys, so we about to get up out of here. Thanks again, JB. What you got going on? I know you were watching all of your shows. So what's your schedule to get all your
Ooh.
shows done?
So everything. Once I get off of here, I'm gonna do my best to do Love After Lockup. The Never Ever Mess is coming, you guys. That episode last night. What the fuck? Then we got y'all know Raising Canaan. I got to do that, and then I still got to do the season finale of Abbott. It was really good to me. I'm so sad that it's the season finale, but they'll be back in the fall. So that's all I got for the rest of the weekend. And then y'all know Real Housewives of Atlanta is tomorrow. Somebody say Kenya is live on YouTube. Oh my God.
Lord, somebody, you know what? What's his name? Just sent it to me. Don sent me a link. I figured that's what it was, but I didn't know she was live. All right, well, we about to get up off of here. Let's go see what Kenya talking about. Yep, he just sent me the link. Kenya Moore, the confessions they tried to silence. Lord, I guess we'll be live in a little bit to talk about Kenya, because let me hear what she's talking about, y'all. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace. Yeah, Don sent me that link, and I figured that's what it was, but I didn't know she was live, though. I thought maybe she was a pre-record.
Why is she going live?
It was wrong.
It's not live. It's upload.
I have done it at my
Okay.
salon.
It's an upload. It's not live.
Okay.
But I am trying to hear it.
I'm
It looked like she's been live for about 20 minutes.
I'm glad.
All right, let me go take some notes. I'm gonna go listen and take some notes, child.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Oh,